What's going on, everybody? James here, RedemptionAgency.com. 21 years selling on eBay. So I went ahead and did pulling already. So now we shippeth this stuff. This hat doesn't fit right with my hair pulled back. It's a little bigger than it should be. Alright. That's alright. That's alright. Now that's okay. We were two kids in love, trying to find a way. That's alright. Alright. After yesterday's catastrophe of the website, hopefully today shall turn out better. Looked like there was a little shutdown last night, but not much. So that was at least a positive. It didn't seem like it went on longer than 5 hours. So, and that being said, had some decent dollar stuff, so that helped out too. So we are at 920, and by 10 a.m. I like to have 150 to 250. I'm at 155 at 920. So, and there was a plethora of offers coming in. So if there was that offer issue, may have been fixed by now, because there was a long period, most of the day yesterday, offers just did not come through for me. And the reports from a customer and other people complaining I saw, when you click on the offer button, it does not work. And then also, it was pointed out to me, which I talked about in last night's video, that I'm going to call in today and say, hey, this ain't cool. Is when you go into the store, you click on an item, now it pops up into a bubble instead of showing you the description, the whole page. And in that bubble, there is not an option for make offer when you have offers. So that's not good. It's taking away some potential sales. So I'm not happy about that. Let me go in and check today, just in case that was part of the issue yesterday. So I click on it, boom, no. All it shows is quantity, add to cart, view all details. Doesn't show where you can make an offer on it. So if you're going to put all your stuff into one little bubble, you got to at least make sure you put the important parts in that bubble. I'm not a fan of this at all, personally. But it does keep people on your page. They don't have to back out. So that is a positive. So maybe I'll get used to it, and it'll be good for the long haul. But they at least got to put the offers on there. Because somebody could just be like, I'm not paying that for it, and just click off, not knowing they could send an offer. So let's see where we were. Let's see. Because yesterday I only sold 34 items. That's how bad yesterday was. It just was not happening yesterday. System errors and stuff. Where today I've already got 8. So at least looks like we headed in the right direction. The right direction. I'm part French. I can do that without it being like racist or anything, right? I can act like I'm French since I got part French in me, right? Parlez-vous homo homo? I learned that from cartoons growing up. Parlez-vous homo homo? All right. All right. Let's get going. Why is my scale not turning on? Okay. Now it's all off. There we go. Okay. First up, we've got Donald Trump in the house. The failed takedown of President Donald Trump. Yeah, I recognize that guy. He was like a military guy, I think it was. So far, 350, headed to Pennsylvania. Oh, man. Today I'm not worrying about, not thinking about site issues or nothing. Not going to worry about it. Just got to concentrate on listing. So it appears I've taken a lot more pictures for more than 1,000 items. So that's at least a good thing. They all won't get completed probably by Friday, but that's all right. Then this weekend I can start adding more to it. Yesterday I only got up 123 items, so I was just farting around a lot. Jan was off for a big portion of the day. We made a Jan video. If you didn't see that, you can go back and watch that. So, but 123 for a day where I was pooping around, that's not bad at all. So, next up we got Pepsi Cola t-shirt, sold for $10. Headed to Chino, California. Chino? Today I just gotta worry how cool it is to sell this kind of stuff. So many people get caught up in the whole, I think, like the hype of selling like stuff they love, or vintage stuff, or high dollar stuff, or whatever. People get so immersed into that it kind of puts blinders on you, when you're sourcing. And I'm guilty of that too. That's why when I go sourcing, I go around about 4 times in stores. First time is looking for the stuff I love, the quick things I know right off the top of my head. Boom, 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 grab. Vintage looking, feels quality, boom, boom, all in the cart. Then I go around and I start my secondary search of stuff I may have missed. So I start slowing down. So while I'm looking for stuff I may have missed, I'm looking for secondary stuff also. Oh yes, this can go, this, I will take this. And then I go around 3rd time, and sometimes even a 4th time. So I usually do a good 4 sweeps in thrift stores when I go in them. So, but some people just, and that all too depends on your business plan, if you even have a business plan, on how you want to source, how you want to direct. I think it's important to have a business plan in the way you want to go, but it's also very easy to be, because I've been there. You've been kind of blinded by reality in a sense. And I'll give you an example, which I kind of watched yesterday. I kind of watched her when she was transitioning from eBay seller to opening up a bin store, the Lindsay girl. And then she hadn't put out a lot of videos with the bin store. So I watched the one yesterday to see how, because she was talking about how she's in trouble and stuff. So I'm watching this, and as she's getting toward the end, when she's talking about her new plans on going forward, I kind of felt for her, because I've been there. I've been, this business, like I've told you guys before, $150,000 in debt. That's not counting the $60,000 truck I had at the time. I went all in, not knowing what the hell we were doing. We were just spending money left and right. Didn't have no real game plan to get it all back. So I'm watching this video, and it felt the same way. And so it brought back all those hurt, those confused, those emotions of depression and stuff that I had in me at that time, trying to figure it all out. And then when she gave her game plan on doing the Facebook auction thing and the whatnot auction, I just kind of sunk my head. I'm like, because I could see, and I hope I'm wrong, I could see the writing on the wall that it's not going to end well. And I'll give you my reasoning why, is because if you have to, a business like that, in my opinion, the strongest part has to be the biggest part, the most expensive part, and that is the bin store itself, the overhead, the employees, the majority of your money. And I don't know her numbers, so I don't know exactly. So I could be totally off on this. This is from the outside looking in, and it's in no way knocking. It's more like constructive talk, I guess you could say. I feel that that store has to be the 80% of the income. And if you're taking quality items out of that bin store and doing them one by one, it's almost like the way some people look at me going, you're dealing with one by ones, right? And you may think, oh, this cassette has lower value than the items she's pulling out. Yes, but also her overhead's a hell of a lot more than mine is. I have basically no overhead except for I'm paying rent on 2 storage lockers. The other 3 are within the house area, so they're all free. So my overhead is, 2 employees, 3 with Jan, giving her a little bit of money, and a couple of storage lockers, right? Where her overhead's going to probably be, I think, more employees, plus a lease of a building, plus she still has to get in the product. Like, I don't have the product problem. So the value of this cassette is basically equaled, I think, to the items she's pulling out when you compare the costs behind it all. So I kind of felt like it's not going to work, because if you're concentrating, when you have such huge burden on the business of the overhead of that bin store, that store has to be the main source of the income. And she may only be off by 10 or 20%. And if that's the case, then it could work out this way. But she also talked about getting customers back. And I don't think pulling quality items out of the bin store for whatnot is a way to get customers back into your store, because they're coming in looking for those, hoping to score those quality items. Like, ooh, yay, I found this week. What am I going to find next week, right? Instead of just coming in for average good deals. And I've never been there. This is just the way I take it from watching the videos. So, like I said, it's nothing negative in any sort of way. I just felt the pain because I've been there. And then I just, from my outside perspective looking in, it feels like it's going to fail. But like I said, unless all she needs is 10 to 20% to turn a profit. If she only needs 10 to 20% to turn a profit, then it could turn around in a positive way by pulling out and doing whatnot or Facebook auctions. But also, like I said, I don't see that getting, you have to walk that thin line of putting quality out so you can get those customers back. But then you got to pay up for quality. Like she was saying, she got a lot of Gaylords that were just pure junk. And I've done the whole Gaylord thing before, and it was a dead end road. And I feel for people who's doing it now and trying to use that as their sole income, because it's not a pretty place to be. It's not a very profitable place to be unless you have the connection to get quality 100% of the time. Because anything else less is difficult. So, and that's just from my perspective, from my viewpoints, nothing negative, just pulling in the information that I've got and making my assessments. So what I think I would do in that instance is, see, I don't know, because if I was dedicated to the Gaylord thing, what would I do in that situation? What I would do is, okay, she said her customers doesn't react to clothing items. So what if I had that bin store here in St. Louis and I was doing that, There is a place, a bin store that seems like it's doing very well called Treasure something. I think they're in, I want to say, North Dakota, North Carolina, something like that. But they put out the high quality items also. So you can get a drone for $5. You can get an iPhone for $5. And when these items do sell, they take pictures, put it on social media, and it blows up their page. So people know if they go there, there's a chance they can get an iPhone for $5 or this stereo system for $5. So I would turn and concentrate more on that, making sure that those customers got those high dollar items for that lower price. You're taking a loss for what you could sell the item for, but you're gaining it back with advertising alone, getting those people in the door to buy all this other stuff you've got. So advertising alone, you're making that money back up. And that creates foot traffic and people excited to come to your establishment. Another thing I would do is find things other than Gaylord or pallet companies. Like if I was doing that today, I would walk into the Goodwill bins and I'd be like, is there any way we can do a buy system? Like you just throw, let's just say, toys in the Gaylord and I'll buy a Gaylord from you. I'll buy 5 Gaylords a week of toys. It could be other things too, household items, whatever. And try that. And mingle that stuff in also with the bins. You could have a new section or ding and dent section or whatever, and you can have a used section. And try something like that. I would be thinking outside the box like that. Instead of following the traditional bin rules. She said there's like 5 others that opened up around her, so there's competition now. So you're going to have to do something to stand out to that competition. And just offering the same junk and not putting those high quality items in, you're going to lose out to that competition still. So you're going to have to think outside the box. So do something like find a Goodwill to partner with to maybe get some stuff. There's a lot of thrift stores out there, not even just Goodwill, but smaller thrift stores that get so much stuff that they can't handle it all. Like St. Vincent's around here, they got so much stuff they opened a bin store, right? So there are smaller places out there that are overwhelmed with stuff that you might be able to get at a bargain price in lot for a consistent, sale or a consistent purchasing program. Other than that, I don't know. When, like I said, the whole pallet thing is not a pretty thing. It's okay if you buy one here and there, but don't bet the farm on a pallet. Never have been there. Thankfully, when I did it, I wasn't betting the farm on it. It was more of a play thing. Let's try this and that, and did a few, and yeah, no. no, thank you. No, thank you. So, but anyway, where was I going with that? I don't know, but anyway. I felt the pain. So, all right. Next up, we've got a working Nintendo 64 again. Sold for with the coupon $46. Yeah. Hope she's able to turn it around, huh? Never want to see anybody fail, So. But it's a hard business. This one's already done together. I definitely think thinking outside the box and or promoting your customers getting the high quality items helps. I personally don't see it working out, but Like I said, I hope I'm wrong. Hopefully only she needs 10% and it will put her over the edge. So, because if she only needs like 10% a month, it may work. 214.4. But what was funny is, well, not funny, but what I felt was that excitement feeling she had at the end toward the new ideas. That was another thing I felt, because when I tried turning things around, I mean, I tried several different things. So I remember those exciting feelings. And to me, feeling that again, it felt like blind faith. You know, you got this blind faith into something, hoping that it's the answer to all. And then where will it go from there? So, yeah, that blind faith. When I feel that now, it's not a happy feeling, right? It's a hope and a prayer feel. And so that's why I hope she's able to pull out of it. Because it's not a, why did that not, did it? I guess it updated at the same time. It's not a very, it's not a very conducive, positive energy place to be. It's a good way to put it. Because every little thing kind of drags you back down. You're excited, you're gung-ho, but all it takes is one little thing not to work, at least for me, when I was there. One little thing, and it just ruins your whole day. And then you got to start all over again, right? You got to hype yourself back up. And at least that's the way it was with me. And it was not... I'm just thankful I was able to pull out. So that's why I wish none of that stuff on anybody. So Wells Fargo sold for $13.50, headed to Dallas, Texas. So I felt for her. That's why, like with me, I mean, like I said before, I've had employees. I had, 7, 8, 9 employees at one time. It's a stressful situation to be in, failing with other people's lives on your back. It's heavy. So that's why when people say now, I'm like, I am very happy, just me. Let them, let Adrian does do what he wants to do. Jan does what she wants to do. I'm very happy, just me, pulling $100,000 a year out of my little business selling simple items. I don't need to risk anything anymore. I don't need to, if something falls in my lap, beautiful, but I don't need to anymore. I am just happy, just fine. A freaking guy who never thought he'd be anything in life can pull $100,000 out of a business that, of an idea that he created or helped build. Jan put in time too, and she started it with her money, with $3,000. So, but I'm very content. I don't want to relive those feelings and those emotions because they're hard to get through. Got a Cardinals pool hole shirt, sold for $11, headed to Carbondale, Illinois. Very hard to pull through. And honestly, I think what saved me is this stuff. I mean, I hear so many people who down what I sell. Oh, sell stuff that people really want. And when I started selling these used hats, nobody was really selling them on eBay. There's literally 4 times the people selling, or 4 times the amount of hats that are on eBay now from when I first started selling hats. I mean, just in 2021, you heard, if you watch some of my videos, just in hats alone, I did like $123,000 in hats. This stuff saved me. This stuff is what pulled me out. Having storage locker filled with stuff, going over to the bins, grabbing this cheap stuff that didn't cost me much, and being able to turn it into consistent sales. This stuff is what pulled me out of my hole. So people can knock it all they want. I see this stuff. You may see that I work my butt off or whatever. To me, it's not work because I'm enjoying it. What else would I be doing, right? But I see all this stuff as saviors. Because not only did it pull me out of that debt, it gave me a life. It gave me a life, then it gave me my life back, you know? So I am very happy selling a Cardinals Shirt for whatever it sold for. I'm very happy selling an album that I know nothing about for $6. That I probably have 25 cents invested, had 25 cents invested into it. Yeah, I will take this any day of the week compared to the stress that I endured with employees and such. It's peaceful now, right? It's peaceful. I like peaceful. I don't need chaos anymore. Been there, done that, right? So I'm very thankful for my simple items. Simple, like the Princess Collection Disney cassette only. Sold for $10. Headed to Alabama. $10 for this. That somebody would have thrown away, and probably did throw away. I wouldn't be surprised if I pulled this out of a trash can. Actually, it didn't. It came from one of the record stores I bought out, but because he gave me a bunch of cassette tapes without covers. So. That could be another thing. Oh, there's an idea. What I would do if I was Lindsay. Go to stores you would not expect. Consignment stores, used record stores, I don't know, used clothing stores in your area. What's that store that sells the clothes and name brand clothes and shoes? Closet. Plato's Closet. What do they do with stuff after it's been sitting on their shelves for X amount of days? Find out. What do you guys do with that stuff? Do you got any programs where you sell it by pallets? Go to things you would not expect. I would, if I was in that situation and feeling that, I would literally go in every place I could. Nordstrom's Rack. Hey, you guys, what do you guys do with your merchandise after it's been sitting and it hasn't moved? Do you guys send it out? Do you throw it away? Do you have some kind of program where it can be bought by Gaylords or pallets? I would be checking every store and check stores that wouldn't normally red flag you, like a used record store. I mean, I've bought out back rooms of used record stores. I mean, that's where a lot of my storage have it. You know, I got a lot of it in storage still to this day. You know, if your customers didn't know what you were going to have week to week. Something like walking in and seeing 2 bins of records or CDs or DVDs might excite a few people. And then also, what's you going to have next week? So I would think outside the box and trying to buy overstock from everywhere you can, and just check with every store. Tuesday mornings, what do they do with their stuff? A lot of them just destroy it or throw it away. So, because it's not worth boxing up and sending back to a corporate headquarters or warehouse or whatever, Think outside the box when it comes to the overstock. So you don't have to be, if you're a bin store, you don't have to be totally pallet driven. You could just be overstock driven. So I'm just thinking outside the box because some people, I know for a fact when you're in that situation, it's very hard to think sometimes, right? It's very hard to come up with new ideas, and just the littlest one will get you that excited. But like I said, it could also be blind faith if you don't have somebody else looking at it also, saying, well, here's what could happen. Here's what could go wrong. Be prepared for it here. Let's have a backup plan to that plan, if you will, or not even a backup plan, a secondary or third plan to try to bring it all together. So, all right, some Nike Air Max shoes. So for $13, headed to Wrigleys, West Virginia. Those are gonna have to go in a box. A box. So they're not gonna fit in there. Will this fit in one of these? Actually, it will, looks like. Instead of this big old box. Let's try the smaller one. Less movement, more snug. Let's see. There we go. Don't do that on me. Yeah, trying to hold on to a wing and a prayer, man. It's a tough. You're shooting that Hail Mary pass, hoping it hits. But you got to find those secondary and other things to really add fuel to the fire. All right, we got some TK Axel denim jeans. Sold for $26.30. Headed to Harriman, Utah. it was just weird that the emotions that video brought out in me, just reliving all those moments and those feelings and the dread and the depression and I those feelings were just, for me, because I'm kind of an emotional person, that they're very powerful and overwhelming. And I think that's why I have such just a connection with this simple stuff. Simplicity. Because it pulled me out of that. So like, I mean, I don't know, just, I think that, and that could be a downfall too. I could be out there trying to source higher dollar stuff or quicker flipper stuff, and do I need to risk that anymore? You know, am I not taking a risk because of those emotions anymore, or am I missing risks that would be beneficial because I'm too tied up emotionally into my past, right? I don't know. But any way it goes, no matter which way it goes, I'm happy. And I want to keep that first and foremost, no matter what, happy. So I am very happy to sell Miss Lisa and her Love CD that I probably got either 10 cents in, had 10 cents into it or a quarter into it. I'm very happy to sell that for $15. And that's where I'm at. Like would I love to have items that quick, that will turn around quicker, have a higher sell-through rate? Sure. But is it worth the risk anymore, For me, the answer is no, not really. I'm happy. Perfectly fine where I'm at. All right, I got a CD upstairs I'll have to grab before I go to the post office. Celine Dion CD. Next up, we've got DJ Punk Rock, Chicken Eye. Sold for $4.44. Headed to Coverton, Louisiana. My nails keep breaking, and I basically have no nails anymore. Because I keep breaking farther and farther down. All right, here we go. Alrighty, Kenny Rankin vinyl. Sold for $7.60. Headed to Chicago, Illinois. We've got U.S. Polo Association denim jeans. Sold for $15. Headed to Chickamauga, something, Georgia. Chickamauga, that's cool. Chickamauga. I think another thing I took from her video was you could tell the state of her business by the state of the room. Everything looked very unorganized, chaotic, paint missing off the walls, stuff like that, right? It looked like, if you watch like Robert Irvine and his failing restaurant thing where he comes in, it looks like a failing restaurant, if you will. Paint off the wall, things disorganized, looks very confused. That was just another little take I took from that video. It's one thing about a business is you can kind of read the state of the business by how it's presented. And I don't know what mine gives off, but guess you have to be separated from. That's definite. You have to be separated from it to read stuff like that. When you're involved in it, all that stuff goes right by you because that's not your focus, right? So you're worried about the stress and all the other stuff piling up. So Superbook VHS tape sold for $760. Headed to Twins Lake, Wisconsin. Next up, we've got a monstrous psychedelic bubble exploding in your mind CD. Sold for $15, headed to Huntsville, Texas. Next up, we've got a parts of repair Nintendo 64. It does not work. So for $30, headed to Tucson, Arizona. Let's me go find a box. Today. Have to remember to order some supplies Monday. Should be able to make it through the weekend fine. Bubbles. Need some bubbles. Need some bubbles. So I gotta go out today. I'll do that one later. Everything that has to is done. Got a Kenny Wayne Shepherd CD that sold for $8.50, and a Cardinals hat that sold for $21. All right, let's see. Got any offers that came in? Yes, 4 more offers. So it's good to see the offers back working properly. Definitely a plus there. But now that I saw that issue, was pointed out to that issue of the offers not showing up in that bubble, I wonder how many offers I'm missing. You know, people are not sending because the option's not in front of them. And I just put that shirt up last night. Maybe you'll see that on this evening's video. All right, where are we at performance-wise? We're at 208 at 10:06. So on our way to the high end of where I like to be. So that's definitely a positive thing. Positive thing. Now if we can just get some longevity on this eBay working properly, that would be nice. Longevity. All right, I got a couple of True Gather I got to pull and get out too. I forgot about that. So I'll do that off camera, I guess, because I got the numbers upstairs where I got to pull them from. Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. Supposed to pull that yesterday and I forgot. And Gear Wrench hat sold for $12. Oh, I got a Poshmark Nirvana t-shirt. Sold for $12. Well, looky there. All right. Oh, that is all. Thanks everybody for watching. And that's it. See you all in the next video. Later.